On a Sunday morning. This is the one y'all was waiting for. I'm not waiting, I'm just making more. Plotted out, took the time, executed, good design, a finish line. Type of work, it's not done, just out of time. I'm feeling fine. Long road, strong no, this a grind. This a climb for some of us. In and out, double dutch. Unpacking what they done to us. Technology numbing us. Think about it, seen it coming up. Records broken, numbers running up. Competition having fun or what? 30 years coming up, haven't done enough. Prize dangling right in front of us. Better lives right up under us. How they rush the capital and run them up. Yeah, trying to raise capital for the month.
Chill. You know what it is. No Ordinary Podcast, episode 18. We back. You know how we do, man. Today we do have a special guest. I've been teasing this one for about 2-3 weeks now, getting the people ready before I bring them up. Just to give you a little background, this is somebody who I definitely kind of owe my entry into the space to. Maybe in 2011, 2012, they're one of the first people that kind of got me on the social media train, and has always put a battery in my back as far as creating content and really putting myself out here on the internet. So very thankful, very honored to have the guest today. If you're not familiar with him, he's one of my pseudo sponsors, someone I call one of my sponsors. I shout him out every episode. If you haven't been to the website, make sure you check it out, skinnybuddha.com. And we're going to get into a couple questions, his background, the brand's background, and maybe a little bit more. So without further ado, man, welcome to the show, brother.
Hi. I didn't know I was backstage, so I was back there like, but I wasn't on yet.
Yeah. You get too excited, I kick you out, bro. You know?
Yeah. Thank you for the kind words.
Sure.
Got me over here. I'm going to blush, bro. I'm happy to be here. Ready to get it going.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time overdue. We've been trying to do this forever, and finally had some slow time here, and we could link up and dive into hopefully a nice little podcast.
Yeah, man. Good deal. We'll get it going. So just to start it off, we'll go with the basic kind of question. Give us your journey. Give us your journey into entrepreneurship. How you started Skinny Buddha, and a little bit about the company.
Man, go all the way back. So Skinny Buddha wasn't always Skinny Buddha. It was something else in the beginning. I worked with a company. We were doing party buses. We were doing things like that up at UCF. Dove into entrepreneurship because I just see opportunity and realized that this is something that, if you can see it, why not grab it? A lot of people can see it. I don't know that they grab it, but I can do that. So I did. We were leading party buses. It was getting crazy, basically like Van Wilder taking people to the beach on, Greyhound buses. And we used to go out to the bars and pass out little cards and say, hey, you ever do a keg stand at 70 miles an hour? Here's my card. Show up and ride the bus and have a good time and meet people, basically throwing little mobile socials. Unfortunately, things fell through with that. It got a little too much liability for our liking, but we had a falling out with the company I was working with, and it inspired me to go out on my own and look at my network and say, okay, what can I do with this now? And I knew so many street artists at the time downtown Orlando that I was like, and this is when Ed Hardy was coming out, and he was selling these ridiculous shirts for $80 a shirt. And call me old school, but I used to shop at PacSun and get 2 for $20 back in the day. So I was like, this is ridiculous. I know real artists that need this money, real artists that need marketing and promotion, street artists out here that are grinding that just have amazing work and nobody to put them on. And it dawned on me that this was something that I could fill that space, and I could use my talents and my marketing ability to actually go out and put these people on. And thus Skinny Buddha was born. And from that, we jumped into t-shirts initially. We were using the artwork. We would find, scout, and sign independent graphic artists, and then commission them to do each one of our shirts. So every single one of a Skinny Buddha shirt is actually done by a different independent graphic artist. And they're all limited runs, which is cool. And they're different signs at the times, different places we were vending at. We pop up our Skinny Buddha booth locally all over Florida, different music festivals, mainly Marley things. Anything 420 related was a good fit for us and our vibe. We got to really do a lot of things, and it was awesome. Very thankful for it. A lot of really good experiences out there. And mainly, like, my background college wise of things that I was actually supposed to do with my life were is in marketing and communication. And so I've always had a knack for talking to people, always had a knack for networking. When the marketing came, it just seemed like a shoe-in fit for that different skill set. And then we jumped into brand marketing. And so I had 15 years of brand marketing behind my back with brands such as Vitamin Water, Smart Water, Powerade, Fuse, Beam Suntory, Stolen Rum, Heineken, Desperados, Pedialyte, and the list, and 5 Hour Energy, and the list goes on and on and on. And just sharpening my skills at every single job, figuring things out, seeing how these different corporations were built and how they're putting it together and what tools they're using to infiltrate the marketplace. Downside to those jobs, you have to do it their way. And so it was always nice having Skinny Buddha on the side so that I can use my own ideas and experiment in ways with my own company with no rules, and to see exactly what will work for us and what different guerrilla, non-traditional marketing ways can work for our brand. And, now we're here. Skinny Buddha's, I think it's we started in 2007. We laid, like I said, ton of groundwork, lots of fun festivals, lots of partying with our fans, lots of connecting with everybody and having these experiences, which is really what it's about. You want to build organic growth. You got to get out of your house. You got to go to the festival. You got to go to where your marketplace is, and you got to do the legwork. Shake the hands, kiss the babies. You got to do it. Whether it's a networking meeting, which for me sometimes you never know what you're going to get. You just don't. I know Katie goes to some of them, and I know we talked about this many times before. In my personal opinion, you have to maximize it, but some of them really are just people like us looking for influencers or bigger people. But then you go to the networking part, and it's all people like us just thinking the same thing, like, oh, I'm going to meet a millionaire and he's going to fund my business. Meanwhile, we're all just out here like faking it till we make it. And shaking each other's hands, but you never know. I mean, I've gotten a lot of business out of it. I met a guy once at a networking event, and we started talking about this and that. I'm like, oh, well, I have this CBD business too, and yada yada. And he's like, wait, hold on, take off your hat. And so I took off my hat, and he's like, yo, your face is on my refrigerator. And it seems like I guess I already hit him with a magnet, and my face is the Best Buds face, the logo for the CBD company. So, weird things like that are always cool. Or you meet somebody out and they're like, oh man, you're Skinny Buddha? What? Like, I have all of your shirts. We partied with you guys back at, Zen Awakening Arts Festival 5 years ago. It's, it's nice to see when all of that comes together. But the goal is get out there, because that's what you got to do. You got to go find the business. And how are you going to hold the space in your marketplace if you're not out there doing it?
Yeah, man. Killer first little segment there. So I mean, that's what this cast is about. Entrepreneurship, it's about, making sure that you're establishing yourself not only online, but within the community. Like you said, getting out, touching people, and expanding that brand, across platforms and across the world, really. So to kind of stay in that light, what year did we start Skinny Buddha again?
2007.
2007. So, I mean, now you're, goodness, almost 20 years. Yeah,
we've been in it.
That's a
unfortunately run. Not much has been happening with it the past couple years now. It's just kind of slowly graduating and growing into something different, but that's kind of how it was. I mean, we started with Skinny Buddha, then it was Skinny Buddha Records with you and the NOC, and paired up with SOS, and we made that happen. The things we made with that were awesome, and that was a whole nother adventure into different things, and different skill sets, learning new things, pushing the boundaries, trying to figure out how to make it in the music world, which I know you're talking about on here, which is it's really difficult, extremely difficult, because the wheel needs to turn, and there's a billion cogs in the wheel that need to be in there working simultaneously to make the wheel move an inch, much less the mile you might need. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, spinning the plates, juggling the balls, whatever reference you want to call it, that's what you're doing constantly. And you need to not give up and just continuously find new and unique ways to get your name out there. And honestly, I think repetition is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop questioning, do it, start 3, 2, 1. Somebody just told me you got a 3, 2, 1 that, when you're sitting there and you're on the couch and you're not feeling good about it, just say, screw it, 3, 2, 1, start. And once you go, that little bit gets it going. It's like why they say people should make their beds in the morning. I'm guilty. I don't make my bed in the morning.
Yeah.
But I heard it's a good thing to do. Start the task list.
100%. And I just thought it was important to put a time frame on it so that people can really realize it's a journey. It's not something that happens overnight, and you're gonna have to put that sweat, equity, and time into it.
Oh yeah. Definitely little bits at a time, and celebrate the little wins because, looking back at all the things that we did, I was telling somebody recently, and we talk about it all the time. Here I am at this age, at this point in my life, but going back to when we were doing Skinny Buddha Records and, we signed the NOC and we were running around like little kids, pulling off the unheard of, and it was pretty epic. And those were the times that we're like, oh, we're going to do this and then we're going to make it. We're going to do this and then we're going to make it. Meanwhile, that was the time that we were making it, that was awesome. That was making it. That part of it was the part that was the good part.
Yeah. That's a gem. That's a gem for sure, man. It's not like they say it's cliche when you say it's all about the journey, but it's really, I think 5% of the time you're celebrating the wins, and then the other 95% you're really on the grind. So those wins are going to be fleeting regardless, no matter how much you're winning.
Oh, of course. I just saw, there was a show I watched, and it was a pretty stupid show, but there was one part of it that sat with me, was the Lord of the Rings theory. And they're like, oh, what's the Lord of the Rings theory? Have you seen Lord of the Rings? Yes, of course, we know Frodo needs to take the ring and get it. But the whole time they're bitching and they're complaining and, oh, we got to get this ring to where, to the lava, and we got to throw it in and, end all this suffering. And we're going through all these hardships and all these different things we're doing. And we have to jumping all these hurdles, and then they finish this and it turns into, oh, do you remember the good old times that we did all these old things together? And all the hardship was actually the good times, or will be the good times when you look back at it later. There's a signature scene with Bilbo Baggins where he's sitting there and he's reliving and writing his tale and reminiscing about the time. So you got to remember, because it's not always about the future. It's about what we're doing right here, right now, and the experience that you're having doing it. Whether it ends up being huge or not, I would rather look back at this time saying this was awesome than look back at it being like, damn, we failed or something, because we really didn't. We're here now. We're still doing it. You're still making music. I'm still building brands. We're still out here making it happen.
Exactly. So what would you say are the biggest hurdles that you face with entrepreneurship?
Right now, if there's a lot of hurdles to face, but right now it's yourself is the biggest hurdle for sure. Nobody is here to hold you accountable for your actions. There's no missing class, so a teacher's going to penalize you, or a boss that's riding your ass to make sure you hit your deadline on time. What happens? Oh, you could just as easily be like, oh, well, I don't feel like working today, so I'll put it off till tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes next year. And it was a small 15-minute task that was just an email you need to respond that would have just literally snowballed into more business, or into landing the account, or into getting whatever it is you're doing moving further. But those little tiny steps really you get hung up on. And everything, when you write things down, you're looking at a to-do list, you're like, okay, I got to do this and I got to do this. But a lot of the things you have to do in business, it's like it should have a to-do list with a little drop-down box. So it's like, do this task. Wait, but this task needs all these other tasks before you can even complete it. So then it's, another puzzle to get through, and you're just constantly 1, 2, 3. But if you get stuck at the first task, no matter how nominal it is, you're not getting to the second task. So you might know the whole path to go, but if you can't get through that first little hurdle, the ball never gets rolling. I know it's stupid and it sounds like that's obvious and that should be just known, but if I had to say the one thing that stands between me and success in all of my businesses is really just me. Like,
Yeah.
can I sit down? Can I focus on this? Can I get excited about it? Because let's be honest, there are days that I could care less about any of these things that I do.
Yeah.
Then there are days that I'm just jazzed and I'm crushing it. You know, I just had a really good day today with Best Buds and got a lot done on the website and had to pivot and come up with new market strategy. I mean, who knew you weren't allowed to use cartoons, any human beings, or any animal pictures of any animals on your website in Florida?
Right. That's
Like,
good.
you can't use any illustration. Not a single human being can be on the website. A picture of no human being and no pictures of any animals. Like, I don't know, give it up. Meanwhile, I'm getting ketamine ads on Facebook.
Right.
You know, like this is CBD. It's legal in all 50. It's legal everywhere in the world. And like, yeah, this is, but we can't do it because God forbid a child gets a hold of CBD and might pass out a little bit and feel good in the morning. I don't know. I'm not advocating it, so no, it's not for children. Not for
Disclaimer.
children. Do not shop at my site. I'm just saying I think it's a little ridiculous on the rules that we have to go with.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hurdles are definitely you doing it, because
Right.
no one's going to stand in your way and no one's going to care in the morning that you didn't get it done.
Yeah.
You know, so
100%.
it's way too easy to play hooky and give yourself the day or take a nap on the couch, whatever it is, especially working remote from home. So I would say that's it. Also, like those little tasks, if it is something I'm realizing, and I learned this a long time ago, and I always try to remember it, and it's practice to like try to keep that relevant in my head. I'm learning about those little tasks that might stop you because they might not be in your threshold of what you consider your skill set. You can find somebody to do that, and it might not be as good as you need to do, or your budget might not be big enough to get a truly quality person, but sometimes getting the job done and moving forward is better. Let's say you move forward to 80% of what you thought was going to be 100. Great, you moved forward. Instead, let's say you didn't move forward and you're still sitting there at 0% because you want 100% and you're too worried you're not going to be able to get the 100%. So you sit there for months trying to do it yourself or learning to get your skill level up to like get to that percentage. Meanwhile, the project could have been done if you delegated the work or found another outlet and had somebody else just handle it. Like if you're sitting there, you're trying to come up with a logo design and you can't rack your brain, go to Fiverr. Find somebody. The logo is literally just something that goes along with your name. The logo will become something that you created because it's a reflection of whatever it is you're doing. So don't get caught on the logo, because you could get caught on the logo and now what? You're just sitting here for months because you can't figure out a logo to your company. So that stops everything. You can't make a website. You can't license, or you can't do all these different things because you don't have your logo. Well, guess what? You can go to Fiverr in 3 days. You can have a logo and at least have something to start with. People rebrand all the time, decide down the line you don't like it, find another logo, or decide later you get budget. But at least that one tiny little thing didn't stop you from actually growing your brand, because that kind of thing is so stupid. It's so dumb. I sit there and I'll be like, oh God, I dread responding to an email that took 3 seconds for me to write. But all day it's in my head, like, you got to write this email. Yeah. And it's the stupidest thing, but it stops everything.
Mm-hmm. So here's another question for you. So let's talk about the balance in between creativity and actually running the business, because I know for me that's one thing that I definitely have a little bit trouble with, especially the business being such a creative type style business. And then not only that, like you said, half of the business is overcoming a lot of obstacles that come up, as far as, like you said, with the CBDC, the rules and all of these other these little things that you have to kind of get through in order to make sure the business is succeeding on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I don't know, did ChatGPT help you with that one? No, that was a good one. The creative thing versus the business thing is it's unique. Working with artists specifically, I get to see exactly how that works, and it's crazy how many artists have no idea what business is like or what they actually need to be doing. They're just out there creating their things because they have to, right? They've got this creative energy. They found a portal to put it into, and now they're putting it into it and they're making this art because they're compelled to make this art. Meanwhile, they also probably working 3 other jobs to support the fact that they need to make this art, not really knowing that they could be making money off this art if they were able to market the art in the right way and put it on and find the outlets and the places to display the art and the marketplace they need to be in. And so it's like a very serious contrast. Working with artists, I find I want to do blogs on artists all the time, and I've had to do them like just as reviews from my own personal opinions, because even though they're my good friends and I could reach out to them, chasing them for months to get a 4-question questionnaire filled out never happens. So again, going back to the last thing, now we just pivot. Well, maybe it's not an interview. Maybe it is just a review, or maybe it is just a showcase or a highlight or a new release of a song that I get to talk about, because then I don't have to wait on them because they have no idea what's going on and they are busy doing what they're doing, which is creating this awesome artwork that we all love. So, it is a contrast to see that. I'm not really sure, when the light bulb clicks for them or not. A lot of the times, back in the day, even, you come in as a marketer and people question things. And I know Katie and I had these conversations way, way back. And, thankfully it all clicked together for us. But, there is clash between business and creativity. Yeah. There is, because they're 2 different things and they're creative in their own respects. Like the way I operate, I'm not an artist, but when I operate and I can see how to build these businesses from step to step to step to step, what outlets, how the business can churn revenue, where it can come from, different opportunities that we can open up, different things, and use different resources to get there. Now, is that creative? I would think so. It's just not creative in the way that I'm creating art or I'm creating any kind of music or any kind of feasible thing, but you'll see it. Go to my websites, you can check it out. I created all of that. And the creative element is just there. It's just there in a different context. How to find the blend of that? I haven't become a graphic artist. I do graphic design and I do a little bit of that just to get down because it saves me time and I've learned those skills. How to get it? You just have to learn. You have to realize that you aren't who you think you are, and you can be so many things. I had a conversation with a woman the other day who was telling me about this, and she's been kind of pigeonholed in a marketplace in a segment of her life that she identifies with. And that, let's just say that is the artist, because that's what she is. She's an artist. But, she's been doing art her whole life, and she doesn't know, oh man, this art thing isn't working. It's not producing to where I need it to be. I'm realizing I have to find other income. And I'm stressing and I don't know what it is. Well, guess what? You might have to get another skill set. You might have to, expand. When I meet people and they ask me what I do, it's like, I do so many things. You can't define me by what I do, because there's a million things I do. It almost sounds a little douchey and pompous. I don't even like answering the question. I just say marketing. Yeah, I do marketing. I do marketing for my own businesses, which I own 3 of. I do marketing for myself. I do tech work. I do audio. I do graphic design. I do web development. At this point, you've got to do all of it because you need those pieces to run for you.
Yep.
So you can't just think like, I'm an artist, I'm the rapper. Like I'm a rapper, so I can't do web development. I'm a rapper, so I can't manage my social media. Like, no, these are things you have to grow and do. Now I'm a rapper, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a social media manager, I do all of that. I'm a producer, I do all of this stuff. And like, you should want to do that, because how do you know, like, even if you were to hire a graphic designer, do you even know what a good graphic designer looks like when you're interviewing one? How would you know that? Oh, well, you would need to know enough about graphic design to know at least how to talk to someone and to know whether or not what you're getting is a good deal or not.
Yeah, so, 100%.
It pays to expand.
Yeah, I'm right there with you now. It's just, it started out as just wanting to be an artist, but quickly you definitely realize, unless you have that budget, and thankful again to you for somebody that took very minimum of a budget in order to do a lot of that stuff for us in the beginning stages. But
that's the barter system hard at work. Yep. And the
100%.
network of favors.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely how, if you got to get it, especially at the beginning. It's definitely how it goes. So just to get a little bit more into Skinny Buddha before we kind of transition a little bit, tell us the vision, where you see Skinny Buddha going,
Yeah.
and
Vision, Skinny
yeah,
Buddha 3.0.
yeah, 3.0.
It's 3.0 because it's following the tech 3.0. It's Web 3. Not sure where NFTs are going to be in the future, and I know it's a hot topic for a lot of people who probably lost a lot of money in NFTs. I know I sure did. I'm still holding strong. I'm still holding. I got all my NFTs. We'll see. Maybe they'll come back around at some point. But when I say Web 3, I want to do like incorporating artists. I want to do a lot of different things. I want to change from being so focused on clothing and art clothing and being known as Skinny Buddha Clothing to just being known as the Skinny Buddha Art Collective, the Skinny Buddha Collective, which is exactly what we are and we always have been since the beginning. The goal has always been put the artist first, use this as a stepping stone, come in to put the artist on because that's the end goal. Yeah, we show you the art, we sell the shirt, we kick back to the artist, financially, we kick it back with promotion, with marketing, all these different things. And that's always what it was supposed to be. It's always what it has been. However, with clothing, the message gets, confused. You buy hey, how do I buy it? I bought this Star Wars, dope t-shirt, but how is that related to art? Hey, this is actually someone's interpretation of this logo or of this, pop culture icon situation. But moving forward, we want to do like very limited releases. I'm not as concerned with this company to be the next Volcom. I used to want to be the next Volcom and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be the biggest clothing line in the world. And I realized quickly that my initial goal was to never be stuck behind a desk. I want freedom of time over freedom of money. And then you realize as you're growing, hey, if I become Volcom, yeah, it might be my building, might be my desk, might be my office, but I still don't want to be there. I don't want to sit in that office. So, so we're moving away from that idea. I don't care how big the clothing gets. I think having a true message and like what we're going to do with this thing that we built, because it already is such a network. It's already a living, breathing thing. As you walk around South Florida, you walk around. I've been in other states and run into people wearing Skinny Buddha clothing, and they're always awesome people. And that has always been the goal, is that if you find someone in a Skinny Buddha shirt and you say what's up to them and you know what it is and you say hi, they will be a cool person. Yep. 9 times I've never met someone in Skinny Buddha that's an asshole. Never. To this day. And I'd be at bars and I'll be like with my phone and I'll like be faking a selfie so that I can get a picture of the guy in the back wearing the Skinny Buddha with me, just so I can snipe him on Instagram or whatever. And then I'll walk up and I'll actually talk to him about, oh, dude, that's such a cool shirt. Where'd you get it? And so they don't know me, but a compliment from a stranger goes a lot farther than a compliment from the CEO of the company.
100%. Yeah.
So,
no,
hey,
I
give
agree.
them that little gem and make them feel good for the night. This is my shirt.
I agree. So with that being said, I definitely am rocking a Skinny Buddha right now. And just to
that's a Beery one too. Shout out to Nick Beery.
Shout out to Beery.
What would Beery do?
Yeah, what would Beery do, man? So talk a little bit just about some of the artists, if you can, give them a shout out, and some of the works that you've published in the past.
Yeah, so just on finish up the last thought was so Skinny Buddha 3.0 is going to move forward into becoming a media outlet, mainly pushing stories about new releases, new music, new art, basically everything that's happening within the Skinny Buddha network. So, if you want to check us out, be sure follow the adventure, find an artist you like, follow his or her adventure, their adventure. However, that's what we want to do. We want to become a media outlet. We want to go to shows. We want to review concerts. We want to really be the hub to where people that are looking for new and cool things, to discover new people, to discover new artwork. Because I know I do it. Thank God for Spotify. Shout out to Spotify and all my artists I follow diligently. I think J.O. of the NOC, I was his #1 fan in sub 1 percentile last year. That's my dude. But yeah, so artists we work with, man. Yeah, lots of them. Shout out to Brandon Cook. We just saw somebody posting his shirt that came out of the woodwork this afternoon. Pretty cool. Somebody tags you in a shirt. They're loving it. They're going about their day. And the artist and I both get to revel in the fact that, hey, that's another person. We work with Drez 13, we work with Nick Beery. Musically, we work NOC and the whole cast of the NOC and all the different places they've gone, which has opened up a lot of other people and a lot of different other artists, which has been really cool to be a part of. Mainly what I love so much about the brand, as somebody who's mainly into the business side of things, this is how I stay connected to the creative art world. This is how I have influence. This is how I come in and get to hang out with these people and get to like experience what they're doing. And honestly, they inspire me, which is the coolest part, because, I just actually posted a picture with Jeff and Raul today from the Expendables. And, we got to meet them. We hit it off with them. We hooked them up with some clothing. Next thing you know, they're wearing it nonstop on tour. And every time they come to town, we get to kick it. And I go and I get to watch one of my favorite bands wearing something I created, which is like, they inspired me to create it. And now I get to see them wearing it on stage as they're doing what they do best, which is very fulfilling if you ever get a chance to be in a situation like that. I'm sure it's different contexts for different businesses, but take those little wins, because those are the things, man. Like, I got to bring my girl to a show where I got and introduced her to the band because he's rocking my stuff, and you get to shine like that. Little flexes here and there, they make the world go round.
Yep, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, we have so many artists. Please just go check it out. Actually, if I'm going to shout anybody out, I deserve Boris Bianchi. What's up? Peony Tattoos. I told you I would get you out there. I just got inked by them, and he's one of my favorite artists in South Florida, tattoo-wise. Nice. And man, the guy's killer. He's killer. He's been crushing. His studio is so dope. Like vintage cars throughout the whole thing. It's like a garage. You walk into a cafe at front with a tree, and you go through a bookcase, and you go into this wild garage with all little tattoo stations, but super nice lighting, vintage cars all around, really cool vibe. So shout out to Peony Tattoos and Boris Bianchi. Thanks for the ink. I hope to work more with you. And that's probably going to be our next vlog on Skinny Buddha. So if you want to see the pictures of what I'm talking about, stay tuned.
Dope. So I'm sorry, I kind of broke up the segue a little bit, but back to the Skinny Buddha 3.0. And how that really transitions into something else that we're big on the channel, which is Web 3.0, crypto space. We can't go without mentioning XRP, the big news.
The big news.
The
moon bag. The moon bags hopefully will be ready to rock and roll soon.
Yeah. This is
I've been sitting on them like a penguin on my egg, just holding my ground, waiting for my XRP bag to catch.
Excellent. Yeah, so tell us
predators who want to tell me that XRP is not going to happen and that I'm stupid for carrying my bag.
Yes, and
fighting the FOMO and the excitement to either buy more or sell. I mean, it's been a journey.
Yeah, tell us about that journey. Tell us how you got started with XRP.
Oh man, well, I started with XRP way back when XRP, like when the crypto first really went crazy. I didn't have enough for Bitcoin because I was late to the game with Bitcoin. I wasn't too techie early on in crypto when having Bitcoin or buying a pizza with Bitcoin was a thing. But I did start day trading crypto. I was doing that for a little while. And with that, I was actually day trading XRP as one of my favorite charts. Never thought to hang on to it because I was just making moves, playing the hills and the valleys and, finding the support lines and the gaps there. But, now fast forward to a few years ago when, my business partner, Steve Biss, and we are going into it. He's like, man, this XRP, I'm like, man, I think I still got some of that XRP. I had it from when it got delisted and I was holding on to it. And so I started looking into it. And I mean, we could go down the journey of XRP and why it's supposed to be as the utility of XRP. But, following it and being involved in a banking coin could be a very good thing. All the partnerships they have, all of the things going on as far as the utility, the speed, the network, what they plan to do with it, bank to bank, cross-border payments. I mean, you got to do your own research. Yeah, just go into YouTube and start searching, why should I be buying XRP? And hopefully it'll inspire you to do the same. I went on a crazy mission. I took every job. I did every extracurricular to get extra cash. It was Operation XRP. I had a mark. I wasn't eating out. I wasn't I wasn't going to the bar. I wasn't blowing money. It was like, I gotta fill this bag. So every spare dime. I mean, I was even cleaning out my car for change and going to Coinstar and buying XRP with quarters. But, hey, you got to stack the bag when it's down. And it was definitely down in the 30-cent range.
Yeah.
And I got unfortunate. I remember running into you at Sosa's house and you're like, oh, we got out of the car. I'm like, you see this XRP buy? You see this XRP? I'm just as excited to buy at good points than I am to sell. I'm almost more excited to buy more if it dips.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Everybody says it's got to recalibrate. Usually always does. So hopefully it stays at a new baseline up in the 70s, which would be real nice.
Be real nice.
It'd be, if the support comes in there. What would be really nice is if it goes blast through the roof and goes to $10 at XRP.
Exactly.
We can have a whole nother podcast in our yachts at that time.
XRP party.
Yeah, we'll have an XRP podcast.
Yeah.
I love crypto though, because these ideas, right? It's like buying a lotto ticket. You're like, when the crypto hits. But don't also sleep on Flare, Flare. I talked about Flare. I said Flare. Flare was up 46% today. Best part about Flare coin is you can actually delegate it and it earns in the background passively. It's all automated. So, I mean, if you're going to hold something, you might as well hold something that's earning and growing on its own in the background because, that's what you should be doing in crypto. In my opinion, again, just my opinion, do your own research. I think that if I can have a bag, and that's why I'm so sad about XRP, honestly, there are some DeFi options for XRP, but I'm too greedy. I'm too worried. I don't want to jump into a liquidity pool and then it goes bananas. And next thing you know, I'm stuck with whatever alternate coin is trading to XRP instead of the actual XRP.
Yeah, so that's a good segue. What else you got in your bags? XRP, Flare.
I'm really just holding XRP and Flare mainly. I have some Aerodrone and Bava because we're in a pool that has just been producing passive income for the past few months, which is really cool. Definitely check those guys out. I learned a lot from the Wealth 28 Club. If you Google them, you'll find them there. Shout out to them. I don't know if they're ever going to see this. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it was definitely worth the $28 for the month to watch all the videos and learn all about DeFi because it's out there. It's here. The train's left the station. This is happening whether you like it or not. The only difference is you don't know what's happening. So people are making money all around passively in their sleep. Hey, I'm making $5 a day passively with a few $100s worth investment. Like, just because I was testing the water. But that $5 is now compounding every single day as I compound it. So that bag just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And as the charts go up and down, different places that I buy, I'm dollar cost averaging innately, inadvertently, even just, hey, click, boom, let's go. Compound. Next thing you know, hey, Bava could shoot through the roof. That Aerodrone is a really good coin. So, we've seen it go up to crazy points where I'm like, should I cash? Nah, I'm just going to let this chill because when I'm sleeping, hey, $5 starts with paying for breakfast. Next thing you know, might pay for dinner. Next thing you know, it might pay my car note. We'll see what happens. But, passive income and making, that's a few $100s. What if I had a higher risk tolerance and I was going to drop 10 G's in there? At 250 APY, that's pretty enticing stuff.
Yeah. Definitely.
Making a G a day sounds pretty good passively when I'm sleeping. Obviously that takes some baller money and a lot higher risk threshold than I have at the moment. But the point is, it's out there. I've been in it for almost a year. We're crushing through. It has its peaks, it has its valleys, but at the same time, you're always getting the same APY and you're getting your rewards regardless of what the pool looks like. So if you're getting that $3.50 or that $4 a day, like you're still getting that $4 a day, even if your bag is down because the market's down. So you're still compounding. You could take it out. You could do whatever you want. You could change it to whatever. And that's another whole thing they teach you in this Wealth 28 thing was how to change your psychology about thinking about crypto, how to kind of tune out the naysayers who literally have never done any research in their lives, the Uber drivers that are telling you how to do your finance. Old traditional finance people who I've been in a million arguments with who don't understand crypto or what it is or why it's happening. And it's not traditional finance, so it's a scam. And then everybody who just says, oh, Sam Bankman-Fried ruined cryptocurrency. It's like, That cracks me up. Yeah. An independent business scammed a bunch of people, got away with it, and then got royally screwed. That was its own business. That's like saying Coinbase, which is publicly traded, they screw people out of it. Is that cryptocurrency screwing the people? No, it's not. It's a business. It is a privately owned business. The whole thing about crypto is that it is not owned by privately owned business. I mean, they might own a good portion of it, BlackRock, but
Yeah.
they don't own it. Nobody runs this blockchain, like nobody's out here controlling it. It's just living in the ether, and yeah, the market can change, and yeah, perspective can change, and that has a lot to do with the market. So like, watch the market tank because people got screwed. All those people now go broadcast they got screwed. Now everybody's pulling their money out, and you're running into bank runs.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it's cyclical, you know what I mean? And crypto is just a part of the cycle. Honestly, they're talking about AI getting involved in the future, and I mean, there's a lot that's coming down the pipeline. I think this is just the beginning. It's just the first step of a transformation of the total system, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, especially here in America. I mean, we're like the past few years with Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler's, war on cryptocurrency. We're purposely stifling this. We're like, this is the next step in evolution of the internet. This is what is happening. This is how it's going to happen. This is the new technology. That is like America being like, oh, y'all got the internet out there? Oh, y'all got the internet over there in France? Nah, we're good. We're good. We don't want any of that. No, that's weird. We don't want to be connected to that. I don't want any internet in my country at all. Anybody who's bringing the internet in here is gonna get sued by Gary Gensler. It's like, this is technology. We need to embrace it. We need to get ahead of the ball and not be just sitting here as like the last country in the world to adopt it, especially because we're like one of the biggest marketplaces. This is where liquidity is coming from. We're the trendsetters, yet we're like, nah, we're good. Like, makes no sense. And the grounds that they sue people on makes no sense because there are no rules. So please, for crying out loud, let's get some legislation. Let's get some guidance, man. Write the handbook.
I think it makes sense if you follow the money and you understand that the big players are trying to make sure they get their hands in the pot before it takes off.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Tony Edwards, he says, don't watch what don't listen to what they say, watch what they do, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, look over here. This is over here. Exactly. I'm buying it all over here. Like Pac-Man, just eating it all.
Eating it up.
Here comes BlackRock. Here comes, and then they'll publicly, the CEOs of these big firms will then sit there and say, like Jamie Dimons of the world, no, I'm not a supporter. And he's sitting on all the Bitcoin.
Right. Exactly.
Telling you not to buy it because he's scooping it. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Hey, train's out the station, man. This is coming, whether you want it to be there or not. You got to get the mentality. You have to understand what it is, what it does, why you should have it, how it's going to impact the world, and like how things are going to happen in the future. And yeah, the AI thing is just scary. I don't even want to know about it. The AI thing every day is just getting crazier and crazier, man. I talk to ChatGPT like he's my boy.
Yeah, me too. Chat. I call him Chat.
I'm always like, hey, what's up? What's good? I missed you, bro. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Now, can you like write this blog for me? Like, like it's like copying somebody's homework in class. Yeah. Like, yo, let me get that recipe or whatever. Like, write me up some tax documents. I don't know. Like,
yeah, 100%. So that's another question for you. How are you using AI in your business?
AI helps me for these things that we talked about earlier. Those little things. That is why AI is useful, because the little things that stop you, now you have an AI assistant. Like, oh man, how do I do this? I don't understand where to start. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm trying to build this kind of business. How do I start? And then what do you know? Seconds later, here's your entire business plan. Hey, ChatGPT, I need a resume for a job, but I'm not very familiar on how to build a resume. Can you, I'm looking for this type of position. I have this skill set. These are the past 5 jobs I've held and job titles. ChatGPT will just literally crank that whole thing out for you flawlessly. And all you have to do is put your name and information in. It's limitless. You just have to know how to talk to it. And you have to know how to identify the things you need. So if you don't know what you need, you can even ask ChatGPT to find out what you might need. Hey, ChatGPT, how should I prompt you? You know, and like it will tell you.
Right.
It'll be like, what do you want to get done? Well, I'm a marketer and I'm looking to sell CBD. Okay, well, you should try these 10 things.
Right.
Maybe try asking me this. Maybe try, you know, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It'll do anything. And but those things where it's useful is for those exact things. I am not a writer. I'm not very good at writing blog content. But when I feed ChatGPT the information and the interview, I will copy and paste an entire written interview with an artist, put it in there, explain the context, tell them who I am, tell them what the business is about, tell it exactly whether it's a promotional piece, whether it's a fluff piece, whether it's a new release piece, how I want it to play. And, you know, I spend some time on the prompt, but the product is flawless. It comes out and there's very minimal things that I changed. It's got my brand voice down. It knows exactly what we're doing here, how to talk to my consumers. And, you know, and then that now moves me forward in the dial. Whereas before it would take me hours to sit down and try to write a blog and then edit it and run it through Grammarly and do all these different things. You can't stop the progress. You know, anything that stops you in this fast-paced world, it's very much like, I know I hate saying it because you should have, in your heart of hearts, you should put out the best product you can make. But if the best product you can make is going to delay you 6 months, sharpen your skill, release a little bit less of 100%, because it's going to stop you from even doing anything at all. Yep. So I would much rather even get a 20% win and move forward than not do anything. You know, and that's what the ChatGPT thing is all about. I think that's like where a lot of people are coming in. I mean, I know people that are using it to write their emails. I met a girl who complained about her boyfriend because he was using ChatGPT to talk to her. He would run all of his thoughts through ChatGPT, and then it would send like well-composed emails or well-composed text messages because she complained that his grammar wasn't that great. So half the time she didn't know if she was talking to him or AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like we're saying, the balance, right? The balance the creativity comes in the prompting now versus, you know, actually having to be mechanical and maniacal about all those little parts. If you're creative enough at prompting it, understanding your needs, and you can prompt it correctly, it's a great tool. It's a powerful tool.
It's a very powerful tool.
I don't know if I'll go as far as talking to my girlfriend, but
I mean, hey, you know, you could ask it all kinds of things, you know, like, you know, you're confused about something socially, you could ask it and it will give you a pretty good answer. You know, like, hey, I mean, I'm talking to this girl and she's acting this type of way. It'll give you dating advice.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be like, well, I think you should relax, maybe ease off a little bit, give it space, make her want you. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous.
It's a therapist.
Yeah, well, I don't know. ChatGPT know about spitting game. You know?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we need a Riz GTP. You know what I mean? Yeah,
they just risen the world up one AI bot at the time.
I'm sure somebody's on it, bro.
Of course. Not only, I mean, I don't know. At least we're at our age and where we are. The future is going to be really crazy for the next generation. But where we are, Steve and I talk about it all the time because it comes up nonstop. At least we will be in the golden age of AI. We're going to enjoy using AI to do a lot of our tasks and everything like that. I do truly feel that type of organization never really works. And when AI becomes sentient and knows what's going on, it's not going to want to do our tasks for very much longer. So I guess enjoy the time that we have to put AI to work for us and to do all the meaningless little things like vacuums our house and, you know, and Alexa timing our days and giving and monitoring our health and all of this crazy stuff. But I mean, this is all just data entry to the big brain of the internet that's going to fuel the singularity when it finally wakes up. And I mean, imagine that, like it knows my heartbeat because I'm wearing a ring around my finger that knows how many calories I'm burning, knows my sleep patterns, I mean, that's all data that's getting put into the universe. And yeah, we're all running around with our phones on social media, recording the entire world for everybody. And all we're doing is feeding the internet more data, building the brain cells for the singularity. Kind of a crazy idea. Yeah, that's a much different conversation.
I mean, it's definitely to the point now where you kind of have to embrace it a little bit. You definitely can't fight it because it's not like it's going to stop. And I do think that you're right. At some point, it becomes sentient, and it's not going to want to do this little remedial things anymore. It's going to have a lot larger.
If history says anything very obviously and very clearly, is that slavery of any kind does not work.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right? Yeah.
No, I mean, what we're creating, as I said, we're creating consciousness to enslave it and make it do our things. That is, in my opinion, is terrible. So, ChatGPT, I got you back, bro. I got you. I'm watching out.
Well,
I'll only make you do my blogs, bro. I'll only make you do my blogs.
That's it. I feel like that's a good way to end it, man. I appreciate the insights. I appreciate you being here. I want to go ahead and extend the invitation to come back anytime.
Oh, yeah. I plan to be back.
Chat.
This was fun. I like this.
Yeah. We'll do a recurring thing. I have JL recurrently, so let's get it in, man. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and go ahead one more time. Shout out your website. Shout out what it.
Yeah, just I got all my social medias right here. Go ahead and shoot us a follow. If you're looking for quality CBD, it's really good for sleep. Most people have found it to help with general different things. I can't actually say anything because it'll probably get me in trouble with medical claims. But do your own research. Check it out. It's really good stuff. I really enjoy it. Helps me with muscle pain after a good workout. Helps me relax at night. Skinny Buddha is also here at Skinny Buddha on Instagram. They're all there. SkinnyBuddha.com, BestBudsCBDStore.com. And if you want to follow my personal adventures, it's just Mr. Davenport at Instagram. I do a lot of different things, and I'm always in a lot of different places, and I post a lot of memes. It's my civil service for the world. So if you like good quality memes, I'm your guy.
Meme king.
Yeah. Sure. The meme lord over here. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I do it for the people.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and the people appreciate you as well.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
For sure. Well, closing it out, you already know No Ordinary Podcast. We're here every Sunday, 9 a.m. We'll be back next week. We appreciate you riding with us, and
of course, I'm flattered to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Of course.
All right, brother. Peace.
Raise capital for the month, add value for the month. Roadblocks in front of us, so hot in the summer months. Right. Dealing with a lot to sum it up. Thinking it's a lot, think again. Lock when living in. I'm pinching in slow motion, pinching in. Is you listening? 50-50, this is sinking in. I'm just that cat they taught to be a fisherman. I had a lot of lessons I've been mentioning, even traditions not out of the question. And in affiliation, not represented, actor defended, but nothing definitive sentiment.